Hello everyone. So welcome to Camel's Art Workshop. My name is Himanshi and most of you may know me as Creativeness. And talking about today's workshop, we will be learning how to paint, how to sketch and color this beautiful Macao painting along with the bokeh effect. Okay, so let's get started with the material first. So today I will be using this A4 sketchbook by Camel, which has 140 GSM. Okay, then I have a 36 shades of Camel Artist Soft Pastel colors. Okay, then I will be using a charcoal pencil, and in case you don't have a charcoal pencil, you can use a black pencil color as well, and some basic stationeries like pencil, rubber, eraser. What we will be doing today, so firstly I will be drawing a basic sketch of the Macao. Okay, so once we have done the basic sketch, what we will be doing is we will be using this soft pastels to fill in the colors, and I will be teaching you all the blending techniques and how to get this beautiful bokeh effect in the background as well. So let's get started with the basic sketch. Okay, so I'm using a pencil and an eraser. So the very first thing that I have to do is compose this picture over here. Okay, so firstly I will start by making the branches. Okay, so as you can see, the branch starts over here. Okay, so 3/4 of the page. Okay, so I'm just drawing basic lines. Okay, like this. Make sure that this is just a basic outline. We will be redefining it all over again, so you don't need to be very perfect over this first step. Okay, so I'm just composing the picture. Okay, so I just want the branch to be here. Okay, so I'm just drawing some lines and curves. Okay, like this. This would be the head. Okay, and now we have to make a beak. For the feathers, okay, you can see I'm just adding some U shapes. So these are comparatively smaller ones. I will be increasing the length of these U's. Okay, these will be the feathers of our Macao. Some U-shaped structures like this. Okay, see, legs. Okay, so for the legs, what you have to do is just make C-shaped structure. Okay, a curve like this. Okay, this would be one of its legs and the other one should be like this. Alright, so as you can see, we are done with the sketching part. Now I'm using Artist Soft Pastels by Camel. Okay, so here I have 36 shades, but in case you don't have a 36 shade, you can also go for a 20 shade as well. So whenever you are working with soft pastel, make sure that you proceed from dark to light shade. Okay, so I'm just filling in the colors to be burnt sienna or umber. Okay, for shadows, like for example near the beak as well. Okay, and over here near the neck portion. So I'm just adding few strokes. Okay, I will not be coloring the whole area with burnt sienna. So I have used Scarlet Lake all over here. Let's proceed to the body. Okay, so this is the first layer. Alright, I will be adding one more layer to it. Okay, once we done the whole coloring stuff. Crimson Lake. Okay, and I'm again drawing the edges and filling a bit of color. Okay, just don't fill the color a lot. I'm just filling in the colors like this. We have got a perfect blend without much effort. Okay, so now for the feather, what you have to do is just fill in the place that you have left using Scarlet Lake. Alright. the first layer of our feathers. Now for the second layer, what I will be using is, I will be using golden yellow or yellow ochre, whatever color you have, you can go with it. And similarly, like you have created outline using burnt sienna, the same way I will be creating outlines using golden yellow or yellow ochre color, whichever color you want. But make sure that the color is a brighter shade, okay, and a darker shade of yellow, okay. Don't use lemon yellow or any such color, alright, because that color we will use to fill in, okay. So now I am using sky blue color for the outline, similarly like you have done before. So once I have done with Prussian blue, now I will be adding some lighter shades of blue. So you can see that I have filled in all the places. Now I will be using a lighter shade like sky blue. Make sure you just dust off your color regularly, okay, so you can see a clear picture. Now let's add some more highlight, some darker shadows. Like here I am adding some burnt sienna again, okay, so there will be the shadow of this branch, so I want a darker tone over here. Meanwhile, we have completed the upper portion of our macaw, okay. So now it's time to make the tail, alright. So for the tail I am repeating the same process. I will be using burnt sienna. Line the lower part as well. Fill in a bit of color, okay, not completely. Now I will be filling in the tail using Scarlet Lake, okay. Okay, so for the second layer, what I will be using is, I will be using some lighter shades of orange, okay. So I will be using orange and Indian yellow as well. In case you don't have Indian yellow in your 20 shade pack, you can just go with simply orange or yellow. Like this, okay. So once you have added some patches over here, now I'm just adding few highlights over the feathers. I'm adding some random U shapes, okay, for the feathers. For the highlights, I am just adding a single line for the tail, okay, just to make the color pop a bit. So now I will be using Indian yellow because I feel a more lighter shade to be added. White spot over here, so I am just blending the color like this. Making the beak, I will be using gold ochre, Camel charcoal pencil, okay, and in case you don't have one, you can also use a black color pencil color, okay. So make sure that your hands are not touching your artwork. Just lift your hand and make an outline over this area, okay, not the outer part, over the inner part. I have left a small white patch and then I have covered, I have made a circle, okay. And over this area, what I will be doing is, I will be adding few dots, okay, to make the beak look a bit realistic, okay. Not a lot of it, just over the edges, add few dots. What you have to do is, you have to add just some random lines, okay, not a lot of it. So now it's time to make the branches. Alright, so for the branches I will be using raw umber, burnt umber and burnt sienna. Okay. Burnt sienna. Okay. And make sure you are blending all the colors very well. Just start with the edge. Now it's time to add highlights using a lighter shade. Okay. And adding all those textures so that it looks like a wood. So for this purpose I will be using gold ochre. Okay. So what I am doing is I am just adding some random patterns like this. Okay. At the edges. Okay. You don't need to add all over, just over the top area. Okay. For this I will be using grey color. Okay, I'm just filling in a bit of grey. Okay, and I will be using white to merge it. Okay, so once you have wiped the color off, now for the bouquet effect, as you can see, I will be using the darker shades like olive green, okay, and sap green. Alright, and the darker shades should be over the edges, okay, over the edges of my sketchbook, over the edges of the Macao as well. Okay, so for this thing what I will be doing is, instead of coloring like this, I will be just slanting my oil pastels and I will be coloring like this. Sap green for the rest over area. Okay, so you can also blend sap green over the darker portion that you have done before, so there's no white patch left over here. Okay, so make sure there's no white space and the white page is covered thoroughly. Okay. So I just wanted to add few darker shade over here. Repeat the same process, just make the outline first near the branch and then merge it, merge both the colors. Okay. You can use any shade of green and just color it. So now for creating the bouquet effect, what you have to do is, I will be using lemon yellow color and creating circles, okay? And when I am using this, make sure that this portion of the palm doesn't touches the sketchbook, okay? Just lift your hand like this, otherwise it will get smudged, okay? Protect our artwork from smudging and also to protect it from fading, okay? So here I will be using Artist Fixative Spray by Camel, okay? So basically this we use for pastel, charcoal and pencil color artwork. What you have to do is you have to just shake it, and whenever you are doing this process, make sure that you are at an open space, okay, where the ventilation is good enough. And I won't be spraying it over here because I am in a closed room, but whenever you are using this spray, make sure you have your mask and you are working at you are spraying this over a open space, and what you have to do is just keep it perpendicular to your artwork and you have to spray it, okay? So I am just showing you and not spraying it actually, but if you feel that your artwork is almost complete and you are just about to wrap up, just spray the fixative, okay, to protect it. And alright, so this was all for today's workshop. I hope you loved it, and do tag @creativeness and kokuyo.camlin, and we will be very happy to reshare all your creations, okay? And see you in the next workshop. Thank you for joining in. Bye bye.